So what time do you guys go to sleep? Anyone?
12 in the morning.
Yeah, right. Do any of you guys have 8 a.m. classes? Yeah? Alright, do you guys stay up late to study? No. Okay, well, when we were younger, we hated going to sleep. Why can't we stay up to watch that cartoon show, Mom? I don't want to go to sleep. We probably said phrases such as this when we were younger. What about now? Now that we're older, it feels like we can't get enough sleep. English paper due tomorrow? No, it's already 2 a.m. I'm sure many of you guys have stayed up long past midnight in order to study or to do homework or anything else, such as playing games. Okay. Oh. Sorry. Okay, so ever since senior year in high school, I've been feeling a lot more tired. First half of senior year, everything was fine. Second half was a different story, however. I started feeling extremely exhausted and tired throughout the day. And now that I'm in college, I find myself like napping every day. So one incident that kind of scared me happened last quarter. I was driving to school and I fell asleep on the wheel. It was for like 10 seconds, but thankfully nothing happened because I was going to school at an early hour and there were like no cars on the road. Okay, so lack of sleep can be extremely harmful to your life, and it has dire consequences. Throughout this speech, I'll be talking about how lack of sleep affects your health, your social life, and your academic performance. First, I would like to talk about how lack of sleep affects your health. So not sleeping enough has dire consequences, and according to an article written by John Thackeray on September 16, 2012, called The Short and Long-Term Effects of Lack of Sleep, there are some very serious short and long-term effects when you don't sleep enough. According to the article, when you don't sleep enough, you get a lot of headaches, and I for one can vouch for this. I kind of get frequent headaches, and it's probably because I don't sleep enough or I don't sleep at regular intervals. Sometimes I sleep at 11, sometimes at 12, or much later. So this is one of the short-term effects. Now let's look at some long-term effects. Some long-term effects include diabetes, heart problems, or high blood pressure. My grandma has high blood pressure, and it was due to not sleeping enough. She had to work night shifts, and her work schedule was very sporadic, which led her to being diagnosed with high blood pressure. I know she suffers greatly from it, and she doesn't really talk about it, but she has to like watch what she eats, and she has to take medication on a daily basis. It's just not worth being diagnosed with one of these health problems just so you can stay up a bit later just to play games or to study a bit more. So now that we know how lack of sleep can affect your health, let's look at how it can affect your social life. According to an article called Lack of Sleep Impairs Teen Social Life on mynorthwest.com, written by Linda Thomas on March 28, 2011, lack of sleep impairs a teen's social life. If you don't sleep enough, it can affect your moral judgment and your perception of people. Your actions tend to be more self-centered and selfish when you don't sleep enough, and it's harder to tell how people feel when you're also sleepy. So say if someone's mad at you, you can't tell if you're sleeping. Next, according to the article, you can also, according to the article, if you don't sleep enough, you can feel depressed, and who wants to associate themselves with someone who's always sad? I certainly don't. Also, if you might feel like you might seem extremely exhausted to someone, and you might yawn a lot, so that's not the most attractive thing in the world. Okay, so now let's see. Now that we know how it can affect your social life, let's see how it can affect your academic career. According to an article on brainmass.com written on February 19, 2012, called How Sleep Affects Your Academic Performance, lack of sleep can be detrimental to how you perform in school. If you don't sleep enough, you can find yourself dozing off in class. And in my first quarter here, I managed to stay awake for like the first 5 weeks in my history class. But after that, I started like falling asleep a lot more. I would wake up like 30 minutes to an hour later and would realize that I missed out on a lot of important notes. And that can lead to grades that aren't favorable, and it will affect your future. So who here has stayed up really late to study for a test? Did you do well? Do all? Okay, well, according to the article, pulling all-nighters doesn't actually help as much as you think it does. Past a certain point, your brain will stop retaining information well. And yeah, I mean, honestly, if you stay up that late to study, do you really think you can concentrate on the test? So now that we know how harmful lack of sleep can be, I think it's about time to wrap things up. So in conclusion, not sleeping enough has negative consequences. It will affect your health, your social life, and your academic career. So after hearing about this, who's going to sleep a lot more and not stay up to study or play games? Liars. Okay. Anyways, a tip from someone who's actually tired a lot, it's not worth it. You will regret it later down the road if something were to happen. I personally will definitely try to improve or regulate my sleeping schedule. Whether that actually happens or not, only God knows. So remember, guys, hop into bed and sleep sweetly, sweet sweeties.
Oh, whoops.
That's not too bad.